Hi, I'm Mike from Michael's Motor Cars, located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I'm going to take you on a slightly unusual subterranean tour this morning of the 1973 Triumph TR6 that we're offering for sale. This is a unique car. It has great history. It's had three owners, two very long-term owners. We purchased the car from an older couple who owned the car for a long time. They loved it. They drove it everywhere. It was serviced regularly. You can see on the car, both on the top and the bottom, it's had a lot of mechanical work done through the years. And so that aspect of it is great. The ownership, the service history, it drives beautifully. It really drives well, which reflects the service that was done. It's a rare color. It's the French blue. The downside is, when the car was repainted in its original color, they also did a lot of welding repair to the frame. They strengthened it in all the usual places, which is what I'm going to show you. But it's done the way they did it back in the 80s or 90s or early 2000s. It's not restored, not restoration quality. It's very, very solid, very strong. But I want to be clear and show you what the car has underneath. So let's start. If we start right here, and this is very typical, first thing we see is a new muffler mount. It came that way. Relatively new exhaust system. So nice and solid back here. Coming under the car. And again, these are little things, but the mechanical, the muffler clamps are put on the correct way, so the bolts are up top. They're not going to hit anything. Looks like it's had new rear shocks at some point. I can see that the rear springs were replaced. They're relatively new. You can see through this little opening. Springs were done. The bushings in the rear lower A-arms are relatively new. They're in great shape. The very important transmission mounts are excellent. That's a weak point in these cars, but they were reinforced and are great where they bolt, so that's all good. But this is where you get into the reinforcing part of the frame. They welded in plates here. This is all welded in. They reinforced all along here, all along this side. It's very, very strong, but you can see, I mean, clearly it was all welded up. It does still have rust holes. If we look over here, all four corners have rust holes. So there's a rust hole right here, and there's a corresponding rust hole on this side, which is a little difficult to see, but it's there, right here in the floor. Going along to the front of the car, the front of the frame is fine, and they typically were. They clearly did some work here, and then on this is the worst part right here. And again, this is very typical for older Triumphs. It's rusted here. And it's similarly, it was rusted and patched here. And it's a relatively poor patch. And it's rusted here. So we get cars like this sometimes, and we're not in the business of restoring cars. We're in the business of representing them and finding new homes for them. This would be a great opportunity for somebody. We're selling this car no reserve, so it's going to sell at a market correct price. You can leave this stuff alone. The car is structurally very solid. You can choose to repair this to whatever level you want to do. A body shop can, schmutz it in and it's fine, or they could put metal in, or you can choose to replace the rockers. All the next owner's choice. But we want to take the time to show you this so you know exactly what you're getting. Again, all of these kind of welds, very strong, solid metal, welded in, but never finished off, just painted black. So not restoration quality by any stretch of the imagination, but structurally very strong. So that's it. I just wanted to get you down here to show you the car. Please ask us any questions, but it is what it is. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video.